Out of the strains of Seven Nation Army, the two most successful sides in the history of the North Riding Senior Cup take to the pitch at the Riverside Stadium this evening. Bathed in late evening sunlight, the two of them will go about the business of winning this trophy for not the first time. For Boro, it would be Middlesbrough, that is. It would be the 55th time. For Scarborough, well, they're no strangers to this competition either. The trophy's significance is a piece of football history, and it shouldn't be readily overlooked as it is by many people in many quarters. This competition is now 137 years old. The current trophy is 10 years younger, a mere 127 years old. To give it its full title, the North Riding of Yorkshire Football Association Senior Challenge Cup. It was first played in its previous name of the Cleveland Senior Cup way back in the 1881-82 season. Its original guise it was last played for in 1890 when Middlesbrough beat Stockton in the final. It was then decided to be a competition for professional clubs only. It's changed its name to the Cleveland Professional Cup, a new trophy, and that's the one that will be presented in a couple of hours' time. And one thing's certain, Boro will win. Will it be Middlesbrough? Will it be Scarborough? Middlesbrough, unsurprisingly, is the region's senior team, have come to dominate this competition and did so in its early years. They're way out in front. They won it 55. The Sea Dogs won it 19. That's the way we try and describe the teams tonight, because talking about Boro all the time will become confusing to people who are watching this. The two teams lining up for the coin toss. Your referee is Chris Keatley, his assistants are David Avent and Tim Craig, and the reserve official is Connor Ledgway. It does look as though that the Scarborough skipper has maybe forgotten a pen, and he's come racing back onto the field and now shakes hands with the Boro skipper, who tonight is Enes Mamutovic. The Middlesbrough skipper, David Merris, is the Scarborough captain, of course. All eyes perhaps for Scarborough this evening will be on Michael Coulson. He's wearing 10, quite a season for him and quite an evening. Last Saturday at the Scarborough Awards night, he managed to pick up the Golden Boot, having scored 42 goals this season. He also won the Players' Player of the Year and, unsurprisingly, the Supporters' Player of the Year. And this may be the home of Middlesbrough, but they're going to be wearing the away kit this evening. And it is Middlesbrough who are going to kick off. They're ready to go. The referee checks his watch, checks with one linesman, checks with one goalkeeper, and he says, oops, forgot, better check the other goalkeeper, which he does. He's now trying to get his watch to work. And eventually he does, and Chris Keatley gets this competition underway. The Sea Dogs have had a good season, not just by reaching the final of this competition, but also by winning promotion from the Northern Premier League Division 1. And then next season will play in the Evo Stick Northern Premier League. They will carry on the resurgence of this club, and how good that is to see. It should be the final game of the season for both sides, and unless they've sneaked things into the itinerary of which we know little. Middlesbrough's under-23s have had a pretty fine season, getting through to the quarter-finals of the Premier League Cup and beaten in the end-of-season playoffs. But let's not talk about end-of-season playoffs, shall we? Because let's not go there. It was a long ride home from Birmingham last night. For any Middlesbrough fans who were there, they'll know exactly what I mean. Steady start to this game, perfect playing conditions. It's around about 10 to 12 degrees cooler tonight than it was 24 hours ago, and that will help the players, of that there is little doubt. Early touch with the ball for Thomas Taylor. The Scarborough side in goal: Thomas Taylor, 2 Jack Johnson, 3 David Merris, 4 Jamie Price, 5 Joshua Snowden, 6 Sam Hewitt, 7 James Cadman, 8 Lewis Sugden, 9 James Walshaw, 10 the aforementioned Michael Coulson, and 11 is Max Wright. The Scarborough subs this evening: Chris Dawson, Jerome Slew, Joshua Wallace, James Beadle and Tom Morgan. We'll run through the Middlesbrough side for you shortly. I already see there is 1 or 2 shirt changes there, certainly 2 changes that I can pick out. We'll go through that in a moment when we do get a break in play. Just a couple of minutes into this one, 0-0 the scoreline. Competitive as you would expect. Middlesbrough side in goal, it's Brad James, wearing 2 Daniel Dodds, 3 is Patrick Redding, 4 Conor Malley, 5 and captain is Enes Mahmudovic, 6 Nathan Dale, 7 Mikhail Suisalo. He's easy to pick out, a shock of blonde hair on the fin, making him very distinguishable. 8 is Ben Liddell. For those of you who may have looked on Twitter to see what the side was and maybe seen a photograph of the team sheet, well, that team sheet is actually incorrect, because Mitchell Curry is wearing 9, Luke Armstrong is wearing 10, and Hayden Coulson is wearing 11. So just a switch from the original team sheet, which was Luke Armstrong and Mitch Curry. For those watching and with the team sheet, discard the team sheet. Trust what we're saying here. Luke Armstrong wears 10, Mitch Curry wears 9. It's Brad James, the Middlesbrough keeper, 10 to 15 yards out from the edge of his penalty area. Takes a right-footed free kick long. No way that Luke Armstrong was going to get the benefit of that, and a foul from Patrick Redding gives Scarborough a free kick. Midway inside the run half, a couple of yards in from the right-hand touchline. It seems that goalkeepers taking free kicks might be the order of the evening, because it's Thomas Taylor that launches this long and deep towards the edge of the Boro penalty area. Up goes his opposite number, doesn't get there. Brad James is grateful for Nathan Dale picking up the pieces of that loose ball as Middlesbrough move forward, and Hayden Coulson, dynamic figure this season. That's why he's got a new contract which he signed with Middlesbrough. It's Conor Malley on the ball now, and out wide he comes towards Luke Armstrong. Tucking back in field, and central midfield is Ben Liddell. Liddell goes out wide as Middlesbrough assess the options, try to stretch Scarborough a little, play the ball through the inside right channel, not going anywhere. Well held up as the ball is played out wide towards Suisalo. Suisalo taking on Joshua Snowden. Drifts a crossover, but Coulson just gets underneath it, couldn't make good contact on it. That's comfortable for Thomas Taylor. 4.5 minutes played, 0-0 the scoreline. Sun beginning to dip behind one of the stands here, and is keeping the pitch in shade.
Stopwatch shouldn't start, so I have to apologise that the stopwatch, the time is, should say, is a graphical error.
For those of you who are watching on Middlesbrough's YouTube channel, apologies that the clock doesn't appear to be working in the top right hand corner of your screen. Maybe if somebody just gives it like a tap that you used to do with old fashioned watches, give it a bit of a kick, it might work. Middlesbrough need to defend as a speculative effort from James Cadman. Goes over the top of the crossbar. First time there's been any form of pressure on either goal, really. The cries of "Come on Boro" come from the fans assembled in the lower west stand. Crowd expected to be in excess of 1,000 here this evening. Supported competition, and one which these two sides have won the right to contest this final with impressive performances. Scarborough followed up a 2-0 first round win away to Mask United with a 2-1 home win over last season's beaten finalists here, Pickering Town. They were beaten by Whitby this time last year on this very pitch, and just over a week after Middlesbrough cemented their place in the final, so too did Scarborough with a thumping 7-0 win away to Thornaby, which is around about 4 miles or so up the road from here. I'm quite sure that Scarborough will be expecting similar riches from Teesside this evening. They are pressing, however, on the left-hand edge of Middlesbrough's penalty area. Max Wright, left-footed cross up go the heads. It should be a comfortable headed clearance. It is. Slightly fudged, but okay from Daniel Dodds. But the ball is back with Max Wright again, wearing 11, but playing on the right wing. The deflected cross makes it comfortable for Bradley James. Middlesbrough's path into the final. Well, that began with a 7-0 win. Seems to be the theme, doesn't it, so far? 7-0 win away to then Riverside League Redcar Athletic on a night where it absolutely lashed down with the wind blowing straight in off the sea at Redcar. They made light of it, however, progressed to the semi-final and got through that on penalties after a 3-3 draw with York City at Bootham Crescent on a dramatic night. Late goals coming in for Middlesbrough to take the tie, 2 penalty kicks. A reminder that tonight, should the score be level at the end of 90 minutes, we will go straight to penalties, no extra time. Mikael Soisalo making determined efforts to make sure that the breakthrough comes for Middlesbrough. That doesn't come, and Scarborough comfortably clear. Far side of play picked up by James Cadman. Edging up towards halfway line, picked up by Michael Coulson. Star man of the season, picking up 3 awards, just as Adama Traore did the week before at Middlesbrough's end of season awards. No way through. So Scarborough will build from the back. Joshua Snowden still thwarted in his attempt to move forward. So Jamie Price comes short to get the ball off goalkeeper Thomas Taylor. Middlesbrough well shaped in front of them. Paul Stevenson has his side typically well organised. So too does Steve Kittrick. Good season for Scarborough. Just to go back on something we were talking about Redcar. Well, make the referee to make a decision on this one. Well, he says play on. We'll talk about Redcar in a minute. We'll talk about Middlesbrough right now as they attack down their right-hand side with Mikael Soisalo. Soisalo taking on David Merris. Runs into all sorts of difficulties of his own making by and large, and Scarborough will clear. Well, they will eventually. They'll work their way out, and nicely done, nicely played. Away comes Lewis Sugden. Crossfield ball of some 40 yards will pick out Max White. Right, just looks comfortable. The Olays are coming from a sizable Scarborough contingent who are making themselves heard this evening, and they might have something else to shout about here now. The referee has a decision to make, and he makes the decision. He calls a penalty. Max Wright cut through. Referee has another decision to make here. Does he pull a card out of his pocket? And if he does, then what colour is it? The referee is pulling a card out, and that is just a yellow card. The challenge from Patrick Redding deemed a foul, and Scarborough have the chance to take the lead. Just short of 10 minutes played, James Walshaw with a penalty in front of the north stand at the Riverside. Left-footed, saved away to his right-hand side by Bradley James. Fine save away to his right. Not the best penalty that James Walshaw has ever taken. It was into the corner. He almost telegraphed it. A little bit too slow, if anything. A fine save from the Middlesbrough keeper, Brad James, keeps the score level, 0-0, with just over 10 minutes played. Header comes in, which looked as if that was going to go for a goal kick. It's taken the deflection off the back of Nathan Dale and gone out for a Scarborough corner. So the pressure continues. They have missed a penalty, but they are continuing to put the pressure on a Middlesbrough side who have got plenty men back in numbers. Will defend this right wing corner. Ball comes in, headed clear, and then thumped further clear by Ben Liddell. Back comes Scarborough again. Max Wright, who's brought down for the penalty. He's almost at a right back position at the moment, with a free kick inside centre circle this time for a foul on Dave Merris from Mitch Curry. It's on loan to another promoted side early in the season with Harrogate Town, which is where we were talking about Redcar, because they were Wearside League when Middlesbrough beat them in the quarterfinals of this competition. On Saturday they won 7-0 and they've now been promoted to the Northern League. So congratulations all round. Lots of promotion going on. Lots of football deep in Middlesbrough's half at the moment. It's Max Wright who's seen a lot of the ball in the opening 10 and 12 minutes or so. Ball on the edge of Middlesbrough's penalty area. Back with Wright again. Left-footed, swings it in deep. That's dangerous. Header over the top of the crossbar. Never really got to trouble Bradley James. But it has given the sizable Scarborough contingent something else to shout about. They're in good voice tonight. "12 minutes gone. 0-0 the scoreline. All outfield players massed 10 yards either side of the halfway line as they await this goal kick from Brad James. Time is the call for Max Wright. Didn't maybe have as much as his teammates thought, but he's used it wisely. Middlesbrough being sucked out of position a little here. Scarborough passed the ball around quite neatly. And then break. Way down the right is Max Wright. Taking on Patrick Redding again. Cuts inside the box but overruns the ball this time and Nathan Dale comes across the cover. Throw into Scarborough. Pressure continuing to come from the recently promoted side. They come into this tie in remarkably good form. More of that in a moment. They're building level with the left-hand edge of Middlesbrough's penalty area. It's picked up by Michael Coulson, easily dispossessed however. They're enjoying possession at the moment and Jack Johnson will take this throw and try to keep possession, try to keep building and trying to get something out of it this time as they chip the ball inside the penalty area. Good challenge coming in despite half-hearted appeals from the Scarborough fans, and then a needless challenge gives Middlesbrough a free kick and a chance to break, a chance to draw breath and maybe regroup a little bit because Scarborough have had the better of the opening here. 14 minutes gone, just short of that, 0-0 the scoreline. The goal kick is long from Bradley James with a comfortable header from the centre of Scarborough's defence to prevent any further progress from the white shirts of Middlesbrough. They do pick up possession now with Connor Malley. Malley out wide to Hayden Coulson. Coulson has got Jack Johnson in front of him and coming across for further cover that was needed. It was Max Wright. Seems to have been everywhere this evening, certainly on the right hand side, defending, attacking in pretty much equal measure. Connor Malley for Middlesbrough threads the ball through towards Mitch Curry. Curry with a cross come shot which not really going to trouble Thomas Taylor too much. Comfortable save from the Scarborough keeper. And they say Scarborough have come into this game in particularly good form. They ended their league campaign winning 9 of their last 10 matches. It includes 7 straight wins right at the end of the season. So they're a side who were confident. And provided there was no overindulgence at the awards night on the Esplanade on Saturday night, if there was, who can blame them? And they're stripping fit for this one this evening. They certainly look in good shape. It should be a free kick. The tap of the ankles from Mitchell Curry. Quickly taken free kick. Keen to get on with this Scarborough. 15 minutes gone, 0-0. They had the better of the opening. They fancied the chances a little. And Middlesbrough coach Paul Stevenson was saying beforehand that this is going to be a real test physically and psychologically for his young side. He's playing up against men where his side have an average age of 19 or 20 or so. Scarborough have young ones as well, mixed in with a lot of experience. Let's see how this one plays out this evening. So far, been open, entertaining, decent football. Out wide on the right hand side is Jack Johnson. Cross comes in, deflected, corner. Mitch Curry, the only Middlesbrough player not inside the penalty area. His cross comes over, keeper is the shout, keeper is the catch. And Brad James does it rather comfortably, right-footed, then launches it long and forward to that solitary Middlesbrough striker in the Scarborough half. Mitch Curry has a real job on to try and wrestle that ball from Max Wright. Can't do so. Wright goes back to his keeper. I think David Merris realised that Max Wright was tying his shoelace, getting his boot to fit slightly better. He played that ball through. Not the best goal kick from Taylor. Picked up by Nathan Dale. Dale to Malley, edge of centre circle. Coming short for it. Luke Armstrong. He enjoyed his first season back with Middlesbrough after joining from Blythe Spartans last summer. Former Middlesbrough Academy graduate. The current Academy crop are not having things all their own way tonight. 17 minutes gone. Middlesbrough 0, Scarborough 0. The final of the 2018 North Riding Senior Cup. So a reminder of what we were saying just at the start, and if you weren't with us, you may not realise the significance of this competition to the North Riding. This competition is now 137 years old, and what you're watching is a game between the two most successful sides in the history of that competition. Middlesbrough winning it 55 times, Scarborough 19. Will it be 56 or will it be 20? It may, at this rate, take penalties to decide that. Nothing between these sides. Scarborough with more of the ball and have missed a penalty. But neither side is going to break through yet. 18 minutes gone. 0-0 the scoreline. Throw in from Patrick Redding. Picks out Hayden Coulson, who comes short. Goes back to Redding again. His first touch takes it away from him by a couple of yards, and he goes all the way back to goalkeeper Bradley James, trying to draw Scarborough out of position, but they're holding that well. I think Steve Kittrick will be pretty pleased with the opening salvos from his team. Perhaps a little more reorganisation to do from his opposite number, Paul Stevenson, as Scarborough come again, switching the play to the right-hand side. There seems a reliance on Max Wright to be the out ball, as it were. He hasn't wasted too much of it when he's been given it, which has been plenty in the opening 19 minutes. 0-0 the scoreline. Back with Scarborough keeper Thomas Taylor. On the other side of play is where most of the action has taken place, certainly the build-up. It does so again, but Nathan Dale will read that one well, but we'll need to play the ball. I think he was thinking perhaps about trying to let it roll out. Never going to do that. It's spun up nicely on perfect playing surface. No more first team action for Middlesbrough here, of course, this season. A couple of more weeks of action for the ground staff as what has become a very popular end of season pitch hire swings into play after tonight. In a couple of weeks' time, they'll set about making it ready for another season in the Championship. Let's see if Middlesbrough can avoid the playoff this time and go straight up. A lot less complicated that way. But tonight, they're trying to get their hands on silverware. An attack down the right-hand side, and Mitch Curry peels away from David Merris. Low cross comes in, but Mikhail Soisalo can't get there. Very good defending. Sees Scarborough hold firm and move away, and Jamie Price with the ball to Dave Merris, left-hand edge of his penalty area. That was good defending. That's the best we've seen from Middlesbrough so far. Powerful run down the right from Mitch Curry. He's not a winger, more of a striker, but he set off with the pace of a winger and crossed it to the guy who swapped roles with him. Mikhail Soisalo is a winger. He'd moved into the central area. Couldn't quite get the finishing touch he was looking for. Nobody has so far. 21 minutes gone, 0-0. Conditions perfect. Very cool evening here on Teesside. Quite bright. It is dry. one of the cooler May nights that you will come across. Had a couple of days of warmth, so bound to be a cooler one thrown in there somewhere as British weather tries to sort itself out. Conor Malley on halfway line, just to the right of centre circle, picks out Mitch Curry. Curry comes back towards Daniel Dodds at right back, picks up Malley again, and a patient build-up for Middlesbrough until Luxembourg international Enes Mamutovic decides to take the long route. Try to pick out Finnish under 23 international Mikhail Soisalo, but determined in the challenge once more. Away comes Scarborough. Lewis Sugden quickly away to his left-hand side, picks out Sam Hewitt. He comes square back in the direction where the ball's just come from, picks out Joshua Snowden, and eventually the ball threaded forward. Patient build-up. Sugden plays it now away to his left-hand side, out wide. Haven't seen too much action down that side of the pitch so far this evening. The majority of it has been down the right. Switch ball inside the penalty area, no shot available. Michael Coulson twists and turns, 42 goals from him this season. He's keen to add another one to that tally. He's quickly crowded out by Conor Malley, ball played out wide. Cross comes in from Merris, charged down by Soisalo. Throw in Scarborough, 10 to 12 yards up from the corner flag, far side. 23 minutes gone, 0-0 the scoreline. Majority of possession has been with Scarborough. They have missed a penalty as well. Neither side has managed to get beyond the goalkeeper yet. Scarborough may do so now though, as James Warshaw, the man who missed that penalty, inside the penalty area now. Ball's moved away. He watches as possession is still being contested on the left-hand side as Scarborough build neatly once more. Snapping in the challenge, Colin Manning asks the referee about potential free kick. Slightly late challenge from Michael Coulson, but referee saying entitled to go for the ball, get on with it. And the teams do. We've played in a good spirit so far this final. Lofted ball under pressure is comfortable for Nathan Dale, but his ball forward isn't a good one. And again, snapping into the challenge, Scarborough move forward again into the challenge was Jack Johnson. Now it's Max Wright, right inside to Walshaw. Walshaw thought for a fleeting moment about having a go from the D. Thought again. A more patient build-up coming. Scarborough working the ball very well inside the Middlesbrough penalty area again. Comfortable defending once more from Nathan Dale, and yet another attack is snuffed out. A more measured build-up from Middlesbrough this time. Well, Conor Malley gets in a little bit of a mess and he's grateful for the assistance of Mamutovic, but his ball forward is only inviting more pressure. Dave Merris can't get the ball forward as quickly as he would want to, the Scarborough captain. Possession football being played inside Scarborough's half as they try to draw Middlesbrough into position, but 4 men at the back waiting for a long ball forward, and it's duly delivered, that ball, by Taylor. And it results in nothing more than a throw for Middlesbrough. Both managers on the very edge of their technical areas. Steve Kittrick slightly more animated, but he's slightly more upset with that delivery, I think, as he's trying to get his team to play with a little more composure. They haven't done too badly so far, mind you. 25 minutes gone. 0-0 the scoreline. Still the destination of this famous trophy, very much in the balance. Impossible to call at this early stage. Scarborough, however, have certainly seen more of the ball. What can Middlesbrough do with it now they've got a chance on the left with Hayden Coulson? The appeal from Jack Johnson is turned away. He thought that his clearance took a deflection back off Coulson again, which it didn't. Patrick Redding will take the throw. And Redding goes short to Luke Armstrong. Be careful, showing displeasure with the referee's decision, whether he liked it or not. He had to be a little careful. Just a reminder that if this game is level at the end of 90 minutes, it will go straight to penalties. No extra time. Straight on with it. Both sides have plenty time to avoid that drama. Throw to Scarborough. We'll give them a chance to maintain pressure on the Middlesbrough goal. Not necessarily constant pressure, but certainly seen more of the ball. Of the Scarborough side, who, as you said a little earlier, come into this game on the back of some pretty smart form. Last beaten on March the 24th. They came away to Atherton Collieries. Second game there in the space of 3 days. Second defeat there as well. The first one was 2-0. This one was 2-1. That was the last time that Scarborough tasted defeat. What's that, around 7 weeks or so ago? Not bad. Admittedly, maybe haven't played for a week or two, but nevertheless, impressive record. And they're out to enhance that as they approach the edge of Middlesbrough's penalty area. The turn from Lewis Sugden gives him time and space to play the ball out wide towards Max Wright as he approaches the left-hand edge of the Middlesbrough penalty area. Thinks about tucking in. Checks his stride, comes back towards Jack Johnson. Lofted ball inside the area, comfortably headed clear by Nathan Dale. Picked up once more by Max Wright. Right back to Johnson. Keep with the call. Long ball forward. Not an ounce of bother there for the Middlesbrough keeper. He was in action, saving an early penalty. And James Walshaw went for the corner, didn't get enough power, and James flung himself away to his right to make a very smart save indeed. Hayden Coulson on the edge of the box, trying to wriggle his way through, gets the ball out towards Luke Armstrong, shapes for a shot, curls in a shot, and the first save of the evening from Thomas Taylor is a good one, as he flies away to his left-hand side, palms the ball round for a corner, which Mikhail Soisalo will take. Not before congratulations are offered by his teammates to the Scarborough keeper. That was a smart save. Good turn on the edge of the Scarborough box from Luke Armstrong. A save that Taylor probably would have expected to make, but nevertheless did it very competently indeed. Soisalo is not now going to be taking that corner. He's waiting to see if he's going to come out to him. That's a dreadful set piece, which meets with derision from the Scarborough followers, and they watch their team break away quickly. And from Middlesbrough's corner, Scarborough might well create a chance for themselves. Moving inside the Middlesbrough penalty area, Coulson checks his stride, whips over the cross. It's an awkward one, right across the face of goal, and turned around for a corner at the other end by Mikhail Soisalo. That was good work from Michael Coulson. And from what was a Middlesbrough corner, sprung a very quick break. Neat passage of controlled play, a decent cross, and a hurried clearance. And it's now Scarborough's corner. And back they come with just over half an hour played. Lewis Sugden will take this. It should be an in-swinger. It is an in-swinger, which is headed clear comfortably on the edge of the 6-yard box by Hayden Coulson. Picked up by Mikhail Soisalo, quickly crowded up by 3 players, but still gets the ball through towards Mitch Curry. Thundering challenge from Dave Merris, stops him in his tracks, gets Scarborough moving forward again. Offside flag is about to be raised, and is. Walshaw just a half yard or so offside, didn't quite time his run as well as he wanted to. And it relieves the pressure on Middlesbrough. Indirect free kick, which James will take. Mentioned Michael Coulson cleaning up at the end of season awards. It wasn't just the Michael Coulson show, however, because Tommy Taylor picked up a couple of awards. The so far this evening underworked Scarborough goalkeeper. picked up the away game player of the year and the manager's player of the year. Hasn't had an awful lot to do tonight to enhance his reputation, but what he's done very well. 0-0, the scoreline, 31 minutes played. Joshua Snowden takes his time, comfortably composed inside his own penalty area, but a hurried ball forward from Jack Johnson is comfortable enough for the Middlesbrough backline to deal with, and that's Nathan Dale and now Patrick Redding, and now Nathan Dale again. Dale, options somewhat limited, takes a relatively risky strategy by playing the ball across the backline, gets away with it. Ball is back with Bradley James, I beg your pardon. Handball the call from a smattering of Scarborough players, more of their fans. But everyone was right. It was handball. I see a couple of Middlesbrough substitutes warming up on the far sides already. Maybe Paul Stevenson thinking about his options here as a shot is fizzed in by James Walshaw. It was more or less straight to Bradley James. Did rebound off the keeper's chest, but comfortable enough at the end. All danger averted. Conor Malley's distribution has let him down, and Scarborough will build once more. They're inside centre circle, so still a fair way to go before they get into any form of danger zone. Sugden is making sure that possession is maintained as Scarborough try to stretch the pitch a little, but that's not a good ball from Jack Johnson. There wasn't an awful lot that Max Wright could do with that. The control builder from Scarborough has taken the midway inside the Middlesbrough half. Walshaw in position, sprays the ball up wide just behind referee Chris Keatley. Going to take evasive action. A little tug of the shirt on the edge of the box there, which seemingly went unnoticed from the match official. However, it's allowed Middlesbrough to break. So much of a break, more leisurely possession as Aidan Coulson has his legs swept from underneath him, and a free kick to Middlesbrough. Ben Little sweeps the free kick over left-footed. It goes behind Scarborough's backline, but nobody ready to pick up until the header comes in from Luke Armstrong, which is very comfortable for Tommy Taylor. As Nathan Dale swung the ball back across and then was scampered back to the centre of his defence, where Middlesbrough are a man short, but no longer. The ball just evading any forward challenge there by Walshaw. 0-0, 35 minutes played. 10 therefore to half time. No stoppages of note, although officials these days do seem to want to add on at least 1 minute. So far you would think that's all it would be, although where they would get that from, I'm not sure. There's been no stoppages in play. It's been open, evenly contested, or keenly contested I should say, not necessarily even. Scarborough have certainly seen more of the ball. They've considered a free kick here, which Ben Little is keen to take, but not with that ball. Looks as though that one has suffered some sort of puncture, or certainly gone out of shape anyway. a fresh one has been produced. Free kick eventually floated over by Ben Little, but comfortably dealt with by a Scarborough defence who haven't been overworked so far this evening. It's fair to say both sides now are finding life a little difficult. They've got used to each other now, these two. And it's becoming very keenly contested, this one. 0-0 the scoreline. 37 minutes played, but Scarborough come back again. They've been the livelier of the two. Middlesbrough certainly have grown into the game. But they have to defend now. Ball out wide to Lewis Sugden. Sugden with a cross. Should be and is comfortably headed clear, but it's picked up on the edge of Middlesbrough's penalty area by the jinking Max Wright, with a shot comes in which is saved at his near post, not once but twice by James. Shot coming under the turn, blocked this time as Walshaw tried to thread the eye of a needle, couldn't get it through, and Middlesbrough a little desperately clear their lines. 0-0 remains the score. Off they go again. Jamie Price. Back towards Michael Coulson. Coulson assesses his options. Comfortable ball away to his right hand side, and again it's the gentle press from Scarborough as opposed to the quick break. And again it's Middlesbrough who must defend, and they do so simply by holding the line because they can't get the sight of the ball at the moment. Conor Malley trying to squeeze for position, and a shot fizzed over the top of the crossbar. Never really going to trouble the scorers. Michael Coulson slightly underneath it, and therefore the ball always clearing the crossbar, but not by too much. You can just tell by the reaction of the goalkeeper, the Middlesbrough goalkeeper, that he wasn't overly concerned. Just kept a watchful eye rather than any acrobatics needed. Waves away Nathan Dale. Mitchell Curry being urged to drop the ball, get into the penalty area. Ben Little goes short to receive this throw, but the return ball from Little, I beg your pardon, from Hayden Coulson, isn't a good one. Enes Mahmudovic comfortably back towards Brad James, who launches it long and tries to get Middlesbrough moving forward again, and Hayden Coulson runs into a brick wall in the shape of Jack Johnson midway inside the Scarborough half. And once more, it's the team in red and white who move swiftly into opposition territory. A lot of pressure. They still can't find a way through. We're 5 minutes from the end of, I was going to say to the end of the first half, but certainly from the end of normal time, depends what the referee wishes to add on. You've got to think at this stage, he's not going to add a huge amount on. 40 minutes played, 0-0 in the score. A little bit of reshaping to do perhaps from the Middlesbrough coach Paul Stevenson at half time. Middlesbrough coach who had a good career as a young player himself, played in the same Newcastle United youth side as Paul Gascoigne. Pretty decent side that Newcastle team were back in those days, the youngsters, although they were beaten in the final of the I think it was was the Northumberland Senior Cup, where they were actually beaten by Blythe Spartans at St James's Park. Paul Stevenson played in that game. 0-0 the scoreline here. 41 minutes played, a shade over as Middlesbrough build on the edge of the Scarborough penalty area, trying to switch the ball up wide to Mikhail Soisalo. He takes on but doesn't beat Dave Merris, and Merris with a fine challenge puts the ball out of play. It's a rousing cheer from the supporters who've made the 50-mile journey up the northeast coast, one which is quite often made by people of Teesside on a weekend in the opposite direction. Very popular resort, of course, Scarborough, but tonight it's football we're talking about, not very worthwhile holiday destinations. Conor Malley edges his way forward and threads the ball through inside, and a half chance inside for Mitch Curry, but quickly out to deny him is Tommy Taylor. Very smart save. And Curry never really looked that comfortable as he got on the end of a very rare chance for Middlesbrough in this first half. But Curry was in with a chance there. It's a quick check to see if he'd timed his run. Check with the linesman was a positive one. You can argue he should have done better, but maybe doesn't do credit to smart goalkeeping from Tommy Taylor. Best chance of the half for Middlesbrough, and that's come 2 minutes from the end of the opening period. Best chance for Scarborough was the penalty that was missed around about, very early in the game, 10-12 minute mark. 0-0 the scoreline. Middlesbrough pressing a lot higher up the pitch now. Scarborough not finding it easy as easy as they did in the opening 15 minutes or so, to find gaps. The higher presses restricting Scarborough to playing more in their own half and a little bit in Middlesbrough than they have done for most of this half so far. Maybe that's a tactic we'll see in the second half. As a flicked header from Armstrong picks out the offside Soisalo, and again cheers from the Scarborough supporters. They're enjoying themselves so far this half. Every reason to do so. A minute from the end of the scheduled 45. 0-0 the scoreline, and their side arguably with the better chances, arguably with more possession, but arguably still with it all to do. 0-0 scoreline. Difficult game to call, this one. Which way it will go? Maybe it just takes another half chance for either side now to break the deadlock in this. One very good chance each, and a couple of half chances for Scarborough would maybe sum up the opening 45. Certainly in open play possession, it is Scarborough who've seen more of the ball, and they have a throw as we approach the end of 45 minutes. I haven't seen the fourth official's board, to be honest with you, and right on cue he scampers across to pick it up. Asks one of the stewards where it's been hidden in the tunnel, finds it, pumps something into it, and the display will come up shortly. I bet you it's one. Yes, it is. There you go. What do we say about officials having an obligatory 1 extra minute? Really not sure where that's come from. Hardly matters. That's what the official has said. A minimum of 1 additional minute, as the PA announcer has revealed to the fans who didn't see that board go up just a few seconds ago. It's Middlesbrough in possession inside the centre circle as we approach the end of this first half, which has certainly been open enough. Neither side have found it easy to find a way through, and when they have, they haven't capitalised. Cutting edge needed from both sides here. But that's pretty much all that's missing. The referee allowed time for this throw to be taken. He should. Maybe when it's taken he might then decide that enough is enough, which is indeed exactly what he does. The shrill whistle of Chris Keatley brings to an end an opening half where Scarborough wasted a chance to go into the lead by missing a penalty kick when James Walshaw couldn't beat Brad James, who flung himself away to his right to palm the ball away from danger. And then just a few minutes before half-time, Mitch Curry with a good chance for Middlesbrough, nipping through the middle. Rare opportunity, couldn't make the best of it as Tommy Taylor came out, spread himself well and cleared. Half-time then at the Riverside in the North Riding Senior Cup final. Middlesbrough 0, Scarborough 0. Well, let's see if we can get some sort of breakthrough here in this one. North Riding Senior Cup final evenly poised, 0-0 the scoreline as we start the second half. Those of you who are just joining us, a very good evening to you, wherever you may be watching and listening. Cool night here in Teesside, perfect playing conditions. Very few chances in an opening half where Scarborough missed a penalty early on. And regular penalty taker Michael Coulson, having missed a couple in March, decided to pass on the responsibility to James Walshaw. He couldn't get past keeper Brad James. The keeper flying away to his right hand side to keep that out, but then his opposite number Tommy Taylor spreading well and preventing Mitch Curry from putting Middlesbrough in front just a couple of minutes before half time. Scarborough with the better of the opening 45 minutes, couldn't find a way through. Looks like any reorganisation has been done either by Paul Stevenson or Steve Kittrick. It's the red and white of Scarborough who appear to be doing most of the pressing in the early stages of this second half, although Middlesbrough looking much livelier now as a crossfield run from Hayden Coulson is designed to open up a passage or two, but hasn't. No channel available. As the check his stride and Middlesbrough rethink their approach. It certainly wasn't part of the thinking of Ben Little to play a crossfield ball straight towards Dave Merris, which was seen of Max Wright in the first half. Everyone from Grimsby Town, certainly a constant outlet and very difficult one for Middlesbrough to deal with in the opening 45 minutes. He's contesting possession once more. Ball rolls away and it's easy for Nathan Dale to control. In the centre of midfield, which is, I should respect, a makeshift centre of midfield, but not a usual centre of midfield, not the one that's been so effective throughout the course of the season. 2 suspensions and 1 player returning up to Gates sort of seen to that and necessitated a reshuffle, but you wouldn't notice the difference so far. More than held their own against a lively Middlesbrough midfield, but they haven't had anything like a game all their own way. 3 minutes into the second half, 1 suspension for Middlesbrough making a bit of a difference, perhaps. Tom Brewitt, the captain, not been given a chance to play in this game. He was sent off in his last match. It's brought Nathan Dale into play. He watches at the moment as Max Wright down by the corner flag looks up to see where his options lie as Scarborough gets the ball around comfortably again and picked up by David Merris, snapping into the challenge. Near side is Daniel Dodds. Equally effective challenge from the Scarborough captain, and that is David Merris. Throw to be taken by Daniel Dodds for Middlesbrough. Set centre circle, however, Jamie Price. Scarborough moving forward once more. Coulson, his eyes lit up when that ball was played through, but Nathan Dale prevented a shot on target for the man who scored 42 goals this season and needs just 1 more to enter the Scarborough athletic record books. Ryan Blott scored 42 goals about 5 years or so ago. Nobody else has matched that until Coulson has this campaign, so 1 more goal will put him into the record books for Scarborough. So far, hasn't really looked like doing that. Perhaps he should have reverted to to taking penalties. Middlesbrough building. Unconventional but effective clearance. Back to Middlesbrough again. Hayden Coulson completely miscues that. 0-0 remains the score. 5 minutes into the second half. A reminder that if you are expecting extra time in this one, you're going to be disappointed. Because even if the score is level at the end of 90 minutes, we go straight to penalties. Cut to the drama. Never mind extra time. Not sure how many people like extra time, but it's with the game anyway. Let's get straight to penalties. Let's give the fans of both sides a good end to the season. Long way to go before that might be a possibility. Scarborough have made a very positive start to this second half. 0-0 remains the score, but a free kick is taken maybe a little too hurriedly. Forced wide, but the cross does come in. Bradley James, the Middlesbrough keeper, goes up, and it's a free header for James Cadman, but cleared by his opposite number 7, Mikhail Sosalo, back helping his defence. Sure, Curry got away with that back heel. Could have been a bit different, but got away with it. And as we're growing into this half, quite as quickly as their opponents are, who press this time down the left-hand side, edging towards the middle, but Walshaw is inside the penalty area. The ball rolls kindly, however, for Cadman, James Cadman. His cross doesn't carry the quality that he was looking for. And it's a goal kick. So Middlesbrough 7 minutes into the second half. Nil-nil. Quick break through the middle and a half chance for Middlesbrough. No challenge coming in, which the referee now will have to adjudicate on, and a card will be brought out. Hayden Coulson was the one that was brought down, but the decision that the referee will have to make is whether or not Sam Hewitt was the last man when Hewitt was brought down. As if he deems that he was, then he could be in serious trouble. You've got to think the referee will give him the benefit of the doubt here and just issue a yellow card. No, he doesn't. There is no benefit of the doubt, and Scarborough are down to 10 men. 53 minutes played. And Sam Hewitt is deemed as preventing a goal-scoring opportunity, bringing down Hayden Coulson on his route to goal. Is shown the red card, sent off, and Scarborough are down to 10 men. Result of that challenge will give Middlesbrough a free kick. 2 or 3 yards up from the edge of the Scarborough penalty area. Scarborough have left 2 players up. The remainder are either in or just on the very edge of that penalty area. As Ben Little takes the free kick, it cannons off one of a 4-man wall. It goes out for a corner. So can Middlesbrough make this extra man count? That's a blow for Scarborough. Just wonder whether there may be a change on the bench. Wonder whether Steve Kittrick is considering his options here. Sticking with what he has for the time being. The corner comes over. Not a particularly good corner, and not particularly well dealt with either. The net result of that is that Middlesbrough maintain pressure. Ball flicked in by Soisalo up to the far side of Nathan Dale. Nathan Dale with a cross, which is headed clear by Joshua Snowden at the heart of that Scarborough defence. Shorn of Sam Hewitt now. Can Middlesbrough make that count? Cross comes into the box. Comfortable for Tommy Taylor. Quickly away on the offensive once more of Scarborough. Keen to get on with it. Held up
in a free-flowing press, but maintain possession. Possession is now on the right-hand side to Max Wright, encouraged by the fans who've seen a lot of him this season. He's impressed on his loan spell from Grimsby, but not by doing that, by sending the ball just wide. But he wasn't too far away. The referee has he seen a deflection? Looks as though he has. Signalling one way then another. Net result of that is I think that he has, yes he has indeed, confirmation there, he has changed his mind and he has given a corner. I think the linesman gave that. It seems to the referee who first pointed one way, points another. Net result of that is a corner to Scarborough. 11 minutes into this second half. Corner comes over, headed clear, but back to that corner taker once more. Floated in by Lewis Sugden. Over the heads. Cleared in the D and the edge of the Middlesbrough penalty area. Then charged down and Middlesbrough break, and this is where they caused problems before. And this is where Scarborough were reduced to 10 men, but not this time. There's a timely challenge from Max Wright. Denies Mitch Curry a clean run on goal. That one was well timed. There were a few minutes to go from Sam Hewitt wasn't, and that led to his dismissal. Didn't wonder if the referee might have been lenient with him. He wasn't, and it was a straight red that was shown. Ball comes into the penalty area, headed clear by Dave Merris. Scarborough left back and captain, picked up by Mikhail Soisalo. Middlesbrough seeing more of the ball at the moment. What you may expect, superior fitness to be. Can that come into play here? Scarborough now do face a more difficult task, obviously, with 10 men. Conor Malley with the ball as he approaches the edge of the penalty area. Shapes up to shoot, looks for an opening, can't find one. Quickly charged down, gets a second bite at it and can't do anything with that either. And it's thumped clear by Merris, the Scarborough captain. Up towards Walshaw, the one who missed the penalty earlier in this game, in the opening 12 minutes or so. Off goes Hayden Coulson again, skips past Merris, comes to the edge of the box, shoots and shoots wide. 57, 58 or so minutes gone. Still we await the breakthrough. Sending off has done nothing to dampen the enthusiasm of the travelling support this evening. They're still very much right behind their team. They're certainly not fearing the worst or what might be. They're enjoying their evening here in Middlesbrough. Sure, Middlesbrough are particularly offside. I think the linesman just about called that right. He's got the Scarborough fans behind him who, needless to say, don't necessarily agree. I think he's just about got that one right. That's right, didn't quite time his run well enough. And Middlesbrough will build from the back with a crossfield ball as opposed to going forward. They're going to try and draw Scarborough out of position by playing possession football at the back. Enis Mahmutovic, the Luxembourg international. Right side of central defence. Edges up towards the halfway line, threads the ball forward a few yards to Conor Malley. Centre midfield, Malley is chased by Michael Coulson. Gets possession away to Hayden Coulson. No relation that I'm aware of. Free kick to Scarborough with the running chance of off from the Scarborough fans for what was a routine foul, but that's probably the wrong expression. You get the drift. Approaching the hour mark in this one, and still we wait the breakthrough. 0-0 the scoreline. The best chance to Scarborough came with a penalty with around about 12 minutes played when James Walshaw had his spot kick saved by Brad James, and then approaching the last couple of minutes of the first half, which Curry was sent through clean on goal with one-on-one with Tommy Taylor, and it was the Scarborough keeper who came out the better of that particular duel. Middlesbrough building, trying to thread through the middle. The low shot comes in, and the low shot has gone beyond the reach of Tommy Taylor. It's sent there by Luke Armstrong. The goal coming just past the hour mark. It's put Middlesbrough into the lead. And with 60 minutes played at the Riverside in the North Riding Senior Cup final, it's a goal from Luke Armstrong that has put Middlesbrough into the lead. Middlesbrough 1, 10-man Scarborough 0. Scarborough with it all to do. Well, they've got a half chance, and the referee has another decision to make here. I think the decision he's made is that there was no contact from the Middlesbrough keeper, Brad James, because if there was, then he would have had another big call to make. It looks as though it's James Walshaw that's down inside that penalty area. One or two question marks which are being asked by Walshaw's teammates of the referee, but he's satisfied that there is no touch. It's a close call. Quite sure that Brad James thought it would be that close when he came racing up to deal with that through ball. However, he's got away with that one. The judgment, that is, not the foul, because there wasn't a foul to get away with. 62 minutes. Pushing the time away here for the Scarborough contingent. They need to just hang firm for the moment as Middlesbrough build again. Hayden Coulson with a shot which is charged down. Ball loops up dangerously. Shot comes in from Ben Little, took a deflection. Corner to Middlesbrough. They're now playing some of their best football of this game so far. Maybe that may have helped by the dismissal of Sam Hewitt at 53 minutes. Corner to Middlesbrough will be taken by Mikhail Soisalo. Right-footed, up go the heads, ball bouncing loose, ricochet, could go anywhere. It's thumped clear again, but picked up by the corner taker Soisalo. The Finn looks to deliver a right-footed cross. He chips it in, curls it round, headed clear, picked up by Ben Little, edge of the penalty area. Little then overstep from Nathan Dale. Shot coming in from Armstrong. Armstrong, the goal scorer, gets the ball back to Soisalo. Middlesbrough pressing deep inside the Scarborough box. Cross comes over, thumb clear, picked up by Armstrong and curled just wide. Minutes gone in this second half. Middlesbrough lead by 1 goal to 0. They're looking to lift this trophy for the 56th time. A successful side in the competition, as you might expect, but you are watching a game between the two most successful sides in a competition which is 137 years old. Middlesbrough won it 55, Scarborough won it 19. And it is the Sea Dogs who are doing their best to get back into this game now. They're at a man disadvantage against a side who you would expect would make fitness pay in the closing stages. Young lads playing their final game of the season. Will be looking to go out on a high. Conor Malley surging through the middle. Soisalo has gone too far too quickly and was offside. Ball has landed at the feet of Luke Armstrong. Thought about shooting, didn't shoot. Wins the ball back inside that penalty area again. Determination from the goal scorer has won Middlesbrough a corner as the final intervention comes from Jamie Price and turns that ball round after Armstrong had got the better of Merris. The corner will be taken by Mikhail Soisalo. Still no substitutions are in evidence. The two substitutes are warming up, but nobody at the moment looks in imminent danger of coming to join the party. Soisalo with a right-footed corner. Up go the fists of Tommy Taylor. Punches clear outside his penalty area. Ball headed back towards the edge of that box again, but picked up by Maris. Clearance is charged down off the back of Malley. Eventually goes back towards Taylor. Taylor the long clearance. Middlesbrough must defend, and they do so with Daniel Dodds. Dodds picks up his own clearance, but then runs it out of play. Had the exertion there, but not quite the execution he was looking for. Picked up by Michael Coulson. Coulson back towards David Maris. Maris back towards Joshua Snowden. Snowden switches the angle of attack for Scarborough. Brings into play Jack Johnson. Can't go down the right, so they come back to the left again. Precious few options in front of Jamie Price, so he turns back to keeper Taylor. Clever play from Walshaw. Realised that the flight of the ball wasn't going to be kind to him, so just ducked underneath it and allowed Daniel Dodds the opportunity to head out. Scarborough retained possession. We need a bit more of that if they're to get back into this game. 22 minutes into it. We're not too far away from the midpoint of the second half, where Middlesbrough lead by a goal to nil. A goal coming just after the hour mark, scored by Luke Armstrong. Penalty missed earlier in the game by Scarborough. Will they live to regret that? Can they get back into this game? All the answers will be revealed in the second half of the second half, so to speak. Mikhail Soisalo inside the penalty area. Neat ball back inside the box, twisting, turning, shooting low, and having a shot saved was Luke Armstrong. Slaps his hands together in frustration. Thinks he should have done better with that one. But that was good positioning from Taylor. He's done well tonight. The Scarborough keeper had very little chance with the goal. Has to watch again as Middlesbrough pour forward. They're seeing a lot more of the ball now, Middlesbrough, since Scarborough went down to 10 men, and their fitness is kicking in a little bit as well. But off goes Michael Coulson. Coulson darting forward. There's an option away to his left-hand side if he sees him, and that's James Cadman. He's keeping the ball to himself at the moment. That option is being brought into play now, but at the wrong time. Didn't really give Cadman the right angle to have a go at that ball. Didn't give him too much time. The ball had been played a little bit quicker. Maybe Cadman would have been in with a better opportunity, but opportunity it was nevertheless, but half a one, so to speak. We're past the midpoint of the second half. We're 23 minutes into it, in fact. Middlesbrough lead by 1-0 in the final of the 2018 North Riding Senior Cup. Scarborough needing to be patient to build from the back. A chipped ball forward from Jamie Price, however, goes straight down the throat of Enes Mahmudovic, and Conor Malley picks the ball up in centre midfield for Middlesbrough. Off on the overlap goes Mikhail Soisalo. He's picked out. Low ball called for inside the box, but he delayed playing that, and the ball was turned around for a corner. Not quite sure what Soisalo was complaining about there, perhaps saying that the run into the box might have been made a little quicker, but he delayed his delivery. Won a corner, but nothing else. Still 1-0 to Middlesbrough. They do have a corner. They do have an extra man advantage now following that 53rd minute dismissal of Sam Hewitt for a foul on Hayden Coulson as he approached the edge of the Middlesbrough penalty area. The last man, and he brought Coulson down. Corner comes over. Headed clearance is comfortable. Picked up by Michael Coulson. He's under pressure from Ben Little, and he's being forced deep inside his own half. But there's a good clearance. He's done well there, as Michael Coulson. But Middlesbrough pick up possession once more, and Soisalo, who's come into the game a little bit more in the last 5 or 10 minutes or so. He skipped his way down towards the goal line, sent over the cross. Effective diving headed clearance being made by Jamie Price. The Scarborough go away, but it's Middlesbrough with a 4-on-1 advantage, but it's the red shirts of Scarborough who make that advantage count of their own. And Max Wright, who switched from right to left, has set Scarborough in motion once more. That was good play. He held off 4 white-shirted Middlesbrough players. But now watches as Scarborough forced back, and two of their fans encouraging them to move forward, telling them to go in the opposite direction. Easier said than done. Middlesbrough grouping well. But there will come a point where Scarborough are going to have to throw caution to the wind to get back into this game. That may come on a little later than the 25th minute mark, which we've come past. There's no need for any form of panic yet. The referee says a clean tackle was made to win that ball. Middlesbrough have won a throw as the first touch of Joshua Snowden takes the ball away from him. Middlesbrough 1, Scarborough 0. 26 minutes into the second half, we're going to see the first substitution. And off goes James Cadman, and in his place will come Chris Dawson. First change is being made by Scarborough. Time is approaching 72 minutes. Fresh legs and an injection of new energy into a Scarborough side who have been down to 10 men since the 53rd minute. So if they are to get back into this game, they're going to have to do it a man short. So Sado looks to be struggling. And there's a substitution on the cards for Middlesbrough here. The referee has spotted a foul, and that should give an opportunity for Sado to get some treatment. He's seeming to have a problem with his bottom end of his right leg by the look of things here. His referee has asked if he needs treatment. I think he seems to have turned that down. But whether or not that means that Salo will edge across to get treatment himself, or whether he knows that perhaps his race is run and he knows that no treatment administered this evening would keep him on the pitch. Let's see what the next few seconds bring here. As Middlesbrough prepare to take a free kick, but Salo wanders away, looking a disconsolate figure, and I think he will get substituted. He is limping off quite gingerly, and it is going to be a change for Middlesbrough, and it is Mikhail Salo who is making way. So we hadn't had a substitution for a while. Now we have 2 in the space of a minute or so, and it's Tyrone O'Neill, the rangy striker, who's sent on to replace Salo, who has seen his race run. O'Neill goes up to try and meet this cross, gets a header on it but can't direct that header, falls back down to O'Neill, though his first touch comes back off a post, falls to Mitch Curry, who's offside, and that won't count. There's quite an impact from Tyrone O'Neill, whose first touch was to set up Luke Armstrong, who set up O'Neill. His second touch came back off the post, fell to Mitch Curry, who was in an offside position. So the score remains 1-0. We have around 16 minutes of normal time, plus whatever the officials wish to add on. A reminder that should Scarborough get back into this and the score is level at the end of 90 minutes, there is no extra time. The tie will go straight to penalties. (1-0) Middlesbrough. Coulson with the interception and darts towards the right hand edge of the Scarborough penalty area, plays it in low towards Tyrone O'Neill, picks out Armstrong. Armstrong with a shot, saved with a left boot competently by Tom Taylor, but it's at the expense of a corner. And before that is taken, we may well see a second Scarborough substitution here. Just wonder if Max Wright has made his last contribution, or whether he's coming across to get further instructions. Looks like the latter. Looks like he's getting further instructions, because he's coming back into the field of play. The change isn't to be made just yet. Convention suggests that you don't make the change when the opposition are about to take a corner. Which comes in now. Up go the heads. Ball comes down, and it's the feet of Luke Armstrong who put that over the bar. And the substitution will now be made. Second substitution for Scarborough. Coming on 76 minutes, it's Jack Johnson who is making way. And Jerome Slew, the man who is taking his place. Further instructions are needed for the first Scarborough substitute. It's Chris Dawson who just runs across to take instruction from Steve Kittrick. Scarborough fans thinking that ball had gone out of play. The linesman far side of play, a little closer than they were, and says play on, and Middlesbrough do just that. They approach the left-hand edge of the Scarborough penalty area, and Luke Armstrong has Dave Merris for company. Checks his stride, comes back towards Daniel Dodds. Dodds comes back towards Ben Liddle. Liddle is looking for an angle for a shot. Didn't find that, or for a pass either, and Scarborough can clear, but Liddle picks up the pieces, only to lose them again, only to get them back again. Liddle, scrappy sort of passage of play there, but has settled down a little bit now, and Conor Malley in centre circle tries to bring a more cohesive approach, but we're not finding their way through as quickly as they want to. Scarborough rearguard might be a man short, but they're playing well, but they might have been cut open here, but Mitch Curry doesn't find the ball through that he was looking for, and Scarborough can break, not necessarily quickly because Middlesbrough are pressing high up the pitch, but substitute Jerome Slew can't get a clear run either, and Daniel Dodds is the latest one to appear to be feeling the pace of this game, stretching a little bit. I wonder if it's a touch of cramp for the young right back. Staying on the field for the moment, and no indication of any form of treatment. He watches from a deep position as Middlesbrough are at the other end of the field to where he is right now. They're just up from the edge of the Scarborough penalty area. Forced back. Scarborough defend in numbers. Tyrone O'Neill tries to play a 1-2 through the middle, and that isn't going to work. Luke Armstrong picks the ball up now. Armstrong in towards Tyrone O'Neill. O'Neill, the run being made off the ball by Hayden Coulson, back towards Armstrong again, whips over across, headed clear, throw to Middlesbrough. Time ticking away if Scarborough are to get back into this one. 12 minutes left for Middlesbrough to hold out. They lead by 1 goal to nil. That goal scored by Luke Armstrong with a few seconds over 60 minutes played. At that point Scarborough were down to 10 men. They still are, of course. Sam Hewitt, the man who was sent off for what some people tend to call a professional foul. Not sure where that explanation comes from, to be perfectly honest. It was a foul. He was the last man. He was shown a red card. Lewis Sugden there has just been shown a yellow. Free kick is taken by Middlesbrough, who are now further back than they were when they took the free kick, and trying to press on the Scarborough goal. They're inside their own half. Enes Mahmutovic looks up to assess his options. A crossfield ball of some 45 to 50 yards is a good one. It's right to the feet of Hayden Coulson. Plays a 1-2, gets the return pass and darts towards the edge of the Scarborough penalty area. Up to the D, miscues his shot from the edge of it. Rather tired shot from the youngster. A little wide of the mark, but it remains Middlesbrough with the advantage. 1-0. Slender lead. That's all it will take if they are to lift this cup for the 56th time. In the final 10 minutes, you've got to think that Scarborough will start throwing more men forward now. It's a cup final, you may as well lose by 3 than 1, go down fighting. Thundering challenge has left Ben Liddle prostrate. Middlesbrough physio is administering treatment. Let's see what sort of extent that injury is. Let's hope it's not a serious one. Impact injuries never normally all that good. It was a thunderous challenge which came in, 50-50 ball, and Ben Liddle appears to have come off the worst of that. Players of both sides taking advantage of this break in play to go and take on board some refreshment, also a fresh set of instructions. Certainly it's the Middlesbrough players who appear to be receiving more of those instructions there. They're crowding around coach Paul Stevenson. As Ben Liddle looks to be okay to continue. The referee will call all players back into action. Said your brief break is over, let's get back on with this. 8 minutes remaining of normal time and a little bit of added on time to be thrown into the pot when we're assessing how much is left. Middlesbrough leading by a goal to 0. Goal scored by Luke Armstrong. Just past the hour mark. Scarborough down to 10 men from the 53rd minute, and also missed a penalty early in the first half. So it's technically had the penalty saved rather than missing the target. James Walshaw. Coulson still desperate for what will be his 43rd goal of the season and put him into the record books. Scarborough fans letting their feelings about a misplaced goal kick from Brad James be known. They watch their team build down the right hand side in front of where they're congregated in the lower west stand here at the Riverside, hosting the North Riding Senior Cup final for the second year in succession. Around this time last year it was Whitby who got the better of Pickering. And tonight it's the two most successful sides in the history of this competition who are still locked in combat and precious little between the two of them. Middlesbrough have that slender lead, 1-0 with 6 minutes of normal time to go. Free kick is floated inside the Middlesbrough penalty area, punched clear by Brad James. Pressure continues from the visitors. Jerome Slew, who is charged with the responsibility of getting back into the penalty area, but options weren't that profligate for him, and he's come back towards Lewis Sugden. Sugden threads the ball inside the area looking for Walshaw, can't get there, and it's Brad James who thumps clear up towards the halfway line, and under the attention of David Merris, Mitch Curry holds the ball up well, and Middlesbrough can press, although the ball is back with Tommy Taylor in the Scarborough goal. Clearance is comfortable for Nathan Dale. Referee adjudicates a free kick to Middlesbrough, much to the chagrin of the travelling faithful. They're in good numbers and they've seen their side put up a good fight this evening, and they're not done with yet. 5 minutes of normal time to play. Luke Armstrong. Into Daniel Dodds, back to Luke Armstrong again. Ben Little is free inside centre circle, and he's bypassed in favour of trying to pick out Patrick Redding far side, but Scarborough intercept quickly and inside centre circle. Substitute Chris Dawson is brought down. Free kick, they want to take it quickly. Better not take it with a moving ball because this referee will spot it. It had stopped rolling. They take the free kick inside that centre circle, and instructions from Dawson waving everybody away, waving people forward, but they're not going to move forward. The distribution is like that. However, they've got away with that one is Hayden Coulson. Can't keep control of the ball. Throw to Scarborough, far side of play. Are we looking for a big finish in this one? Middlesbrough lead by 1-0. Lead is slender, but it is a lead nevertheless as they look to regain a trophy which they lost out last year in the semi-final stage, but they're back in the final this year, of which there is around 4 minutes remaining. Defeat is an unusual concept for Scarborough in 2018. Hasn't happened that often. Came into this game winning 9 of their last 10, and they're certainly not done with this one yet. You've got to think they've got to have at least one more chance in this one. If they make that count, then we could be heading for penalties. As Luke Armstrong rather unconventionally keeps control of the ball, and Conor Manny spins 360 degrees and picks out Ben Little's. We're going up is the cry from Scarborough, and of course they are, and congratulations to all concerned for that achievement this season. Winning your last 7 matches is certainly a major contributory factor to that. But they are staring defeat in the face for the first time since the back end of March. Unless they can pull themselves back into this one in the last couple of minutes of normal time and maybe a couple of minutes of added on time. So time is running out for the Sea Dogs. Middlesbrough edging towards ending their season with the trophy. They have a corner, which they appear in no great hurry to take. The referee telling them to get on with it. The referee hasn't taken any nonsense tonight. Middlesbrough playing the tricks in the corner flag. A little bit early for that, perhaps. If they won possession, it looks as though the ball's gone out. Referee says yes, but it's going to be a throw to Scarborough. It does look as though he's spotted an infringement. No, he hasn't. The goalkeeper has misread the situation, and he thought the referee had spotted an infringement. It is in fact a throw to Scarborough. So Turner scampers back inside his penalty area, and Scarborough eventually decide who's going to take this throw. The third time of asking, they're going to get on with the set piece. They pinched a few yards up from the corner flag up to a position level with the edge of the penalty area, but they can't make it count. Although they've, in rugby parlance, moved up the pitch and gained a few yards. And a few more, because the ball didn't go out from there. The referee not pulling them back, can't make the best of it either, and Tyrone O'Neill for Middlesbrough takes possession. A neat little turn from Hayden Coulson sees him take control, and a very good sliding challenge comes in and gets the ball back towards Tommy Taylor. He looks, and rather than playing an option which has been a good one for him tonight with the throw, he's gone long and he's looking for substitute Jerome Slew, and Slew gets the better of Daniel Dodds, cuts towards the edge of the penalty area, looks up, checks his stride, finds James Walshaw with a shot, and only into the side netting. The cries are now turning to cries of anguish from the Scarborough fans, who just for a moment saw the net bulge, and for the angle they were looking at it, they thought that the shot had crept in at the near post. It hadn't. It had in fact missed by perhaps a yard or so, flew into the side netting, and that's where the cries of delight very quickly were extinguished and turned into cries of anguish. We're into the final 30 seconds of normal time. The fourth official is priming his board. Still waiting to see what numbers illuminate this Teesside evening. Guessing perhaps at least 3, maybe 4. We're about to find out as Middlesbrough chipped the ball forward and moved on the right hand side, but offside. And 4 is the figure, which is on the fourth officials board, a minimum of 4 additional minutes, which is 4 minutes for Middlesbrough to hang on and 4 minutes for Scarborough to get back into this. And you've got to think that at this stage the next goal would be decisive. If Middlesbrough get it, that will probably be game over. Should Scarborough get it, they're more than likely heading for a penalty shootout. Which way will it go? 4 minutes remaining as Walshaw cuts to the edge of the penalty area. Reverse pass as James scampering off his line with Coulson just caught short and frustrated once more. Just for a fleeting moment it looked as though the ball would run kindly for him and he'd begin with a chance of breaking that record and levelling the score here and possibly taking us to penalties, but he remains on just 42 goals for the season. He'd like 43 because that would be a record for Scarborough in their current guise. Frustrated so far. Will he get another chance? Have Middlesbrough done enough? Answers to all those questions are approximately 3 minutes away. Middlesbrough leading by 1 goal to 0. Luke Armstrong with the only goal of the game. Scarborough down to 10 men since the 53rd minute, and they did miss a penalty after 12 minutes as well as they press forward. Slew tries to get past Daniel Dodds, who digs in, does well, and will try and play the ball off Slew, but not before trying to hold the ball up. Slew does well, but then just runs out of options and the ball goes out of play. It will be a throw to Middlesbrough, and they won't be in any great rush to take this, although the referee is saying, get a shift on. I'm watching. Whether he adds on any additional time to the 4 minutes he's already adjudicated, we'll wait and see. We are 2 minutes into that already, so we're midway through the minimum allotted time. Foul from Tyrone O'Neill is disputed by the Middlesbrough striker. And the referee has given the free kick, and the Scarborough fans waving everybody forward. They're telling Tommy Taylor to get forward, and he looks over to his bench and says, shall I go? And they say, yes, you shall. And the Scarborough keeper is up supporting the attack, and everybody bar the captain Dave Merris is inside the box, and will it come to fruition? No, just inches away from Coulson, and Taylor must scamper back quickly into his penalty area now. And he may be too late, because if Middlesbrough play this correctly, they're in with a chance. And Mitch Curry is in with a chip shot, but he hasn't made the best of it. He didn't get the good chip on it. He's made a miss of that one. Hasn't got the break that he wanted. Tried the chip, didn't get it, and Taylor scampering back did very well to get in the way and divert that shot. Scarborough back in action at the other end now. We're into what is surely the final minute of this game now, and fans of both sides roaring their teams on here as Middlesbrough defend manfully and thump the ball clear up towards the halfway line. You've got to think this is probably the last attack of the game. Ball inside the Middlesbrough penalty area. It's fallen kindly. Offside is the call, and you would have to think that that is probably that. Middlesbrough have a 1-goal advantage. They have a 1-man advantage. They have the advantage of the clock ticking past 49 minutes in this second half. The referee said a minimum of 4, but we've had that, and we're now at the discretion of the official to see if he wants to add any more on to that, which he does not. And it's Middlesbrough who win the 2018 North Riding Senior Cup. The coaches exchange handshakes. Steve Kittrick and Paul Stevenson know fine well that both of their sides have given it everything here at the Riverside this evening. Scarborough missed a penalty early on. Middlesbrough missed a chance towards the end of the first half, but all the drama came in the second half, where Scarborough were reduced to 10 men on 53 minutes when Sam Hewitt was sent off, bringing down Hayden Coulson when Coulson was the last man. Not long after that, Luke Armstrong scored what proved to be the only goal of the game just past the 60-minute mark, and it's proved enough for Middlesbrough to be crowned the North Riding Senior Cup winners this evening. They're doing so for the 56th time in their history. Thanks very much for taking the time to watch wherever you may be watching this evening. Thank you for your support throughout the course of the season. It's ended for Middlesbrough with a trophy.